Straight is effective because it doesn't isolate the child's condition to himself, but we bring in the resources of the entire family. We're not so unusual that we don't realize that chemical dependency is a disease, and so we use our resources to deal, I think, effectively with that disease. But more than anything else, Straight is a therapeutic community, and we bring families into that community to first learn about what we're trying to teach, and then get them actively involved in teaching others. But the role of a therapeutic community is just that, taking the weak and making them very strong. And that's where I see Straight really earning its laurels. We're effective because we use the resources of that entire family.
The Straight treatment program tracks an adolescent's development back to recovery in 5 phases. It starts off initially with a young person leaving their own environment in their own home and living with another family. On second phase, they would return to their home of origin. Third phase, they start achieving through school and work. Fourth phase, they begin to have quality leisure time with other recovering young people. And then on fifth phase, actually become a guidance to the newer people in treatment and integrate back into AA and the NA programs. We use large group therapy here extensively. And what happens is we have a population here of all different phases of young people. The large group therapy will be directed by trained paraprofessionals and professionals, but we use the body of the young people in recovery to help facilitate these new people to see what recovery is all about. We help them understand and identify a feeling by a person on third, fourth, or fifth phase sharing that same experience. The large group therapy that we use here with the young people is called RAPS. And we have RAPS every day. They're 5 a day, and they involve different topics in terms of what that young person's going to need: family, social interaction, recovery, and the RAPS go on daily. On the initial phase of treatment, a young person comes in and they're assessed medically and psychiatrically. They then go and live with another family where they can begin to model appropriate behavior with another recovering person that's matched to their same age and chemical use.
God, thank us for this food and this holiday season, and I'm thankful that we're all together with friends and phasers, and I hope that the next year is even better than this one.
Good.
Yeah.
They spend approximately 9 hours a day talking about past experiences. They learn to identify feelings. They learn to amend with their family. They start to look at their own behavior, and they start to build back that self-esteem that they lost because of their drug use. A typical day for a young person here at Straight would be coming to the facility. They'd be involved in 3 to 4 large group therapy wraps where they would share feelings about their chemical use. They'd then return to the home at night, and they'll write a daily ledger on their feelings and review it with their old-comer and have sharing time with the host parents in the home, and then set goals for the next day.
Because that could have been a really fun time.
Fun time.
It wasn't bad having a fun, but it could have been a lot better.
The host home component, I think, is one of the most important for brand new people. They come in from a home environment where there's a lot of violence, there's anger, there's rage, there's a separation from their own family, and they walk into a system where there are 2 parents that accept this young person unconditionally, and they treat them like their own child. They're given a lot of love and care. They're given the support that they need that they can't get from their own family right now because their parents are separated at this point to work on their own personal programs. That young person needs love so bad when they first come in, and that host home component is what can supply that for them. So I feel it's very important that they're with a family that they're matched up with and that can help their own recovery.
I love you, Chris. Love you, Chris.
Phase 2 is the coming home phase, and that's one of the most exciting parts of treatment. During the open meeting, that young person runs to his parents' arms and yells, "I'm coming home, Mom or Dad." And then they go and they live with their parents. And it's a continuation of that sharing of their past, amending with their parents, and they begin to use their mom and their dad as a higher power for them, and they become a special person in their life again, which they lost because of their drug use. One of the best things about the Straight program is that it's a family system-oriented program. That means that we treat the entire family, the siblings, that weren't the actual chemical users have a program to help them in terms of prevention and identification of their own feelings about their drug using sibling that's in the program. The parents are involved in RAPS. The whole family is united to help the family get better, because the young person's not the problem. The family needs help, and we pull families back together. Phase 3 is when a young person will have to confront for the first time his actual drug-using lifestyle. He'll be back into his school system, which we encourage, and he's going to have to tell the people that he used to associate with and use chemicals they're no longer in his best interest, that he doesn't wish to associate with them anymore. It's frightening, it's scary, the images are out there, the drugs are out there, and this is a time when these young people are grateful and relieved to get back to the building and back to their support group and get help with that. They come in every day and they talk about what it's like to be back in society. They share the feelings about that. And they gain strength every day by talking about it and gaining the pride that they dealt with it. One day they went out and they dealt with it and they didn't use. What got these young people using to begin with was their peers. They offered them chemicals. They were at an experimental point. They were frightened to use, and their friends said, come on, it won't hurt, just give it a try. Now what we've done is turn that around. These young people come in and they're scared to death to give up their drugs and their images and all that facade they have to protect them, and a young person's going to go to them and say, come on, give this a try. They're going to hear someone talking about the same experience they had, and they're going to say, I'm not alone. Someone else felt the pain I did, and they're going to want to be like that person that's in recovery. And that's how it works here. These young people affect the brand new people. They want to be clean and sober and proud, and they see what's happening. And that relentless push from the people in recovery is what keeps these young people going when they're tired, when they're hopeless. They just reach that hand out and say, come on, I'm taking you with me. On fourth phase, this is the first phase where they have time off from the facility. And here's where they're given some personal responsibility to organize outings where drugs are not present. They're going out with other young recovering people and doing activities that normal kids, adolescents should be doing. And the excitement that I see in these kids of just going to a movie or going bowling where drugs weren't there, it's incredible to see that happiness that they achieve, is that pride in themselves, that they're enjoying life without using drugs. Part of also being a druggie is that there weren't any rules in the home, there weren't any personal rules when kids were using, and what we give them here is an incredible amount of structure, and that's what they need, because using drugs is scary enough. Not knowing what to do when you're not using drugs is worse. So we tell them exactly what they need to do. They know it's either black or it's white, and you need to follow this rule, and if you break this rule, you're given a consequence for it. So they have a real clear idea of what we expect out of them. On fifth phase, the young person is required to be at the facility 3 days per week. The family will be involved in an open meeting once a week. And this is the phase where the parents begin to take more and more responsibility in directing their family in treatment. This is the phase where those young people give back to the new people. They represent all the tools, all the standards, all the ideals that we've hoped that they've taken in themselves about recovery. And they set the example of what it's like to be a healthy, functional young person. And the parents also as functional parenting in terms of recovery. It's been said that treatment here at Straight may be controversial, but I look at drug use itself as controversial. What we do here at Straight is productive and it's effective, and it helps young people get their lives back here. And it's structured and it's beneficial to the families, and I believe in this program.
The success rate of Straight is the highest in the healthcare delivery system dealing with teenagers. Most treatment programs report 1 in 5, 1 in 4 young people successfully graduate. 70% of the young people coming into Straight graduate and become drug-free after that treatment experience. 70%. But more importantly than that, 2 and 3 years later, 75% of those young people are still drug-free. It's an astounding statistic. One of the things Straight would like to do, I think, is begin to branch out and do more prevention. Our success in treatment, we would like to be able also to demonstrate in prevention. If we can take our best natural resources, our youngsters in high school, and begin to let them know that really a life of drugs is going to impact tremendously on their future achievements, I think we've come a long way. That's where I see our role over the next 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
Barbara and I attended a straight meeting in Florida last year, and I was able to see for myself how inspiring and supportive this program is to those who need it the most. What struck me most was the spirit and the determination of those young people that I saw to pick up their lives and kick the drug habit. Straight helps families learn to cope with and overcome the problems of drug abuse. The program brings families closer together in the rehabilitation process. It gives young people with drug problems the opportunity to reclaim their lives with the help and the support of family participation, and a supportive family can help a person overcome any crisis, no matter how large or how small. Barbara and I, with 5 beautiful children and 10 grandchildren, can certainly attest to the strength and the inspiration they provide. Organizations like Straight give us added strength in waging the war against drugs. I congratulate Straight on its tremendous efforts and accomplishments. Thank you, and God bless you all.
When you took me by the heart and loved me straight.